What do you think about the difference between family rooms and living rooms? I have talked before about how our family is a living room family. We don't do a lot of alone time in bedrooms. We're pretty much always together in our living room, which in my opinion kind of classifies it more as a family room. But when you look at it from the design world perspective, what is the difference? And really, does it even matter? Now, hello, I am Sarah. Welcome to Grace in My Space. If you are new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by, for clicking the video, for saying hello, for watching so far. I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and give me a chance. No, just kidding. But really. Here at Grace in My Space, I love to talk about home, but I also more so love to talk about it from a really practical standpoint of living in our homes and not only design. And so today I really want to dive deep into creating a living space that serves your family. And we're gonna talk from foundation to final look. Now, if you are interested in all of the behind the scenes of the actual addition process, I do have several videos detailing the build of our living room addition, and I'll link that up for you in the description. Creating a living space that we love is one of the most important rooms in our homes. And whether you call that a living room or a family room doesn't matter to me. All that matters is that we're getting the gathering space correct for the needs of our family. Now, a handful of elements come together to create a good living room. I usually start with defining my style, then I focus on seating, lighting, decorative pieces like soft textiles and artwork, storage, and also creating zones within the larger room. The first step is essentially just defining your decorating style. I recommend creating mood boards, looking on Pinterest, looking across the internet and in magazines. Just kind of feel out what elements and designs really stand out to you. And once you've figured this out, you can style your living room more confidently. And I also have several videos on how to define your decorating style if you need a little bit more help with that. Next, you need to balance your seating arrangement. You want it to be comfortable, but also design forward. I usually say start with the couch, as this is the central focus of the room, and then you can build out accent seating around it. And just remember that your seating arrangement doesn't need to follow the perimeter of a room. It can float in the middle of your room. And I usually use an area rug to anchor that space and create that seating zone. The next step is figuring out your storage. The best way to achieve this harmony of beauty and functionality is through decorative items that serve a purpose but also look beautiful. For example, shelving can match your room's aesthetic, but it still offers plenty of storage. And think about hidden storage as well, which I have done with this device storage solution underneath of a console table. And of course, no living room is complete without comfy and cozy textiles, blankets, rugs, pillows. All of these pieces are responsible for turning a otherwise boring space into a place that you're going to want to spend time in. Now, we've only had our living room for less than a year, so I've only decorated for essentially 3 seasons, and I want to share how I'm going to decorate this fall as well. A very important point to remember in creating a space like this that you're going to use daily is that it will take time to tweak and figure out what works best for your family. And I'm going to show you a few areas in our home over the year that I've tweaked in this time until I feel like I'm getting it right. What are you doing? Constantly on guard with this one. Now, as I designed the living room and I pulled together the charging station and kind of tried to make this as livable and as family friendly as possible, one of the things that is inevitable is that there's just devices everywhere, and they're not that pretty. So today's video sponsor is Berga, and I'm gonna open up the products that they sent me and show you. But Berga is a fashion forward phone cases and MacBook cases and portable chargers, which is actually the thing that I needed the most in my life, to be honest. My phone is always dead. And so I really wanted to walk through some of their really beautiful products. They're made in Europe and they are really beautiful. Now the Elite cases have this really plush velvet on the inside, and then they're lined with a gold ring around the camera case. And I can't decide. I got this one and I got this one, which is a tough case. It's a little bit different for the summer months, and I don't know which one I want to put on. They're so cute. I feel like this one could transition into fall, so I'll probably put this one on for right now. And then the question is, with a tough case on, which is very thick and durable, does the portable charger still magnetize? Yes, it does. So while that's charging, let me show you the other designs that I got. This one I got for fall. Isn't that pretty? I love it. Then I also got a MacBook cover because my MacBook is always sitting in the living room, and it was just so apparent that it's a device and not pretty. Look how gorgeous this is. Doesn't this fit my house so perfectly? And then the bottom comes with this so that everything can still be ventilated and your computer won't overheat, more or less. So that's fantastic. And voila. Now my computer can be out and it's not an eyesore anymore. So as you think about the upcoming gift giving season, or if you have just friends and family that you want to really bless with something that's really cute, and obviously something that we use literally every single day. I don't know anybody who doesn't carry their phone around with them and need good protection for it. So buy 4 but get 2 free, extra 15% off. Grace X15 is the discount code, and I'll link all of these beautiful products up for you in the description from Berga. One of my favorite things with the change of the seasons is removing the last season's decor, because I get tired of things very quickly. I moved a lot growing up, and I've moved a lot as an adult. And so I kind of feel like I get to this itchy point where I just want to move. And you know what? Moving is not fun. So instead, let's change out the decor and not be so dramatic. Now, before I get to decorating for fall, I want to talk about one thing that we've really tweaked a lot in this room in the year that we've had it, and that is the furniture layout. I've switched around accent chairs, I flip-flop couches, and I keep coming back to this blue couch being an issue. While it is beautiful and our family loves to rest on the chase side of it, it's really inconvenient for guests because it feels a little awkward for a guest that you might not know very well to be lounging with their legs up. And so I have ordered a custom sofa. These are some of the fabric swatches, and that is going to have a chase lounge for our family that actually has a removable ottoman to solve that problem. Another change that we've made is originally I didn't want any window coverings on our very large 16-foot slider door, but you know what? The sun disagreed. And so I decided to add matching curtains from the same style that I had on all of the other windows, and it's made our enjoyment of the space much more pleasant during the summer months, which we had not experienced before. Now this is still super cute for fall. I'm gonna keep that. Don't like that artwork. That's a little scary. That's a little dramatic. Whew. Who wants a battle scene on their TV? I need a new pillow cover for this one. It's feeling very springish. So I'm gonna take it off and just do a simple swap, and we're gonna change this pillow from light and bright and kind of summery to just a darker, moodier color for fall that still transitions, I feel like, for end of summer into early fall and doesn't feel overtly autumn just yet. We're not quite to that point. It also adds a little bit of contrast to my light colored chairs. Pillow covers are the best way to change the whole look of a room for a season. I really feel the need to remove a lot in this cabinet. It's feeling cluttered, it's feeling too full, and I think it'll do my heart some good to just take things out and kind of save them for later and do a little swap. And if you do that often enough, then when you go down to look for new decor, you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot I had that. And it's like you're shopping without spending any money. I got these at the end of the season last year. Yikes. And at the time, I think I was kind of thinking that I would do like a drapey swag look on the mantle, which I think will be really pretty if I can pull it off. I only have 4 stems. What was I thinking? What can I do with only 4 stems? Let's see what I can do. But I also got this season. There's a golf ball in it. Par for the course. See what I did there? I think that it could be pretty in this vase too, but that would mean that I have to cut stems and then they'll be almost useless to do drapey things with. So decisions. While I do this, another addition that we added to the living room over the course of the year was an art TV, and I absolutely love being able to change the art. It makes the entire room feel much more polished, and it hides the TV, which I love. So that was a big game changer for the look, but also functionality of the space. That looks kind of pretty, right? I need something tall. All right, now hear me out, okay? This is a little bit small. I would like something bigger, but it's all I own. And sometimes we decorate with what we own, and that's all that there is to it. So I do like how this is a little swaggy. Do you hear Willow in the background? Absolutely annihilating her lunch. I feel like this is one of the simplest ways to decorate a mantle, is to do a crisscross swag. So I have 2 draping that way and 2 draping this way, and they're literally just intertwined with their stems so that they don't fall off. Nothing's attached, nothing's nailed in, nothing has ticky tack or, command strips or whatever. It's just resting there, and so it's a really easy way to add it and take it away when you're done with it. Now, I mentioned at the beginning of the video how important it is to define your style so that it feels easier and you're more confident in decorating a living space. And I'm sticking to that. I pulled out my own personal preference for color palette with stems, and it's much more subdued and it makes me feel much more at peace. And so I just tried a few different ways to add stems to the room. I'm not sure what I'm gonna stick with. Maybe drop it in the comments. Do you like the plum stems? Do you like the golden stems on the mantle? Do you like the more willowy stems? Which one do you prefer? And we'll see what I come up with for when I do full fall decorating here in the living room in the future. This is so much more me. I can't even explain it. I feel like every year I try to go bold with brighter colors for fall because they are beautiful and I love them on a tree outside. But then I bring it into my house and I'm like, man, that's real bright. Let me bring out the dark plum black colors. And you know what? This is beautiful, but it's like 75 outside, so we're gonna turn off the ambiance and you can just imagine it, okay? Because I'm roasting right now. Now this is so much more my style, and this picture is so much more my style. And I think that there is so much value in knowing that about yourself, because we live in an age of never-ending inspiration and never-ending style differences. And so while I can think that this is beautiful, and I do, and I did like the little swag, it's just not something I visually find peace and calm when I look at it. The bright colors make me like actually, I've left this on the mantle for many days, and every time I walk in the room and I look up and take a glance, I'm like, ooh. Because it's just not me. This is so much more peaceful to me, and it's more in my preferred color palette. So while I do feel like there's a place to stretch yourself in design and try and get outside of your norm just to test things out and see what you think about them, I also think that there is so much to be said about knowing what brings you peace in your home, and when it's not, removing it. These were worth giving it a shot. I think they have a place in my home somewhere. They are beautiful, but I gotta send them packing. Now I really wanted my new sofa to be here in time for today's video, but it's still a couple of weeks out on delivery, so you'll have to wait and see when that comes in. It's really, I think, gonna change the functionality of this space. And I am so excited to be able to offer a seating arrangement that not only does my family enjoy, but also guests can feel comfortable sitting in and not feel awkward, because that is something that I feel a little cringy every time a guest comes and they're kind of like, I don't want to sit there, because it's awkward to like chill and relax in somebody else's home. And so I want to give that option to my family, but also be able to present a more structured option for guests to enjoy and be comfortable in this space as well. So stay tuned, new sofa is on the horizon. Thanks so much for watching today. I hope that you enjoyed seeing my living room come together from start to finish, but also for fall as we enter into the autumn season. I would love it if you would consider joining Grace in My Space, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for all of my future videos, and I will see you next week.